Soul Searchers, I'm Indigo Kelly with soulsearchingwithindigokelly.com. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing our June 2020 pick a card predictions. We have 4 piles here. What I would like for you to do is take a moment and concentrate or meditate on each of the 4 piles and decide which one you feel most drawn to. You can call on your spirit guides or your higher self and ask them to help guide you to the correct pile for your reading today. We have pile 1 with the amethyst, pile 2 with the malachite, pile 3 with the rough peacock copper, and pile 4 with the tiger's eye. All right, let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1 with the amethyst. All right, first we have for you the Sun, the 2 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the 7 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. All right, so group number 1, starting out with the Sun. It looks like it feels like for group number 1 that the month of June is actually going to be a very positive, fun month for you. It's going to be abundant. Your personal magnetism is going to be very high. People are going to be drawn to you. You're going to be successful. You're going to have good health. Possibly some of you could be feeling really high self-esteem, really confident in your love or in your career, either one. I think that this would be a good time if you're planning on starting some kind of program for your health, maybe like a food program or an exercise program. This would be a good time to start that, because I can see you in the month of June having some overall high energy and improving your physical condition. I think that June is really going to be a time of contentment and joy for you. Any kind of ventures that you had, for some of you, if you had maybe business endeavors, or like I was saying, like health endeavors that you are thinking about starting, this would be a good time to start those. It was also a time where these things are going to possibly come to fruition. Maybe you've already been working on something, and June will be the month where you're going to see the fruit of your labors for those things. Some of you may be furthering your education, possibly. You might, maybe a graduation. Maybe some of you could possibly be graduating, but I just see that month as being the month of June for group number 1, being really positive, optimistic, abundant. Maybe even finding out news for some of you about having a new baby. Maybe you're going to find out that you're pregnant. So that is what the Sun card is representing for you, group number 1 in the month of June. Moving on, I do see in the month of June that you might be having some difficult decisions that you have to make. Not necessarily either one of the options are going to be good or bad. It's like both of the options are good options, but you're having a hard time deciding which is which. Maybe you're not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings. You're going to choose this or this, and you know if you choose this person won't be happy, and you know if you choose this, another person won't be happy. So make sure that when you're making these kinds of decisions, that you are making the decisions based off what your heart says, based off of your intuition. Also, make sure when you're making those decisions that you have all of the information that you need to have before you make your final decision. Also, with the 2 of Swords, possibly for some of you in group number 1, you could possibly be closed off right now to any kind of love coming in. Maybe if you're single and you are looking for love, you possibly have some emotional barriers like protecting you from any outside love. So you're basically like closing yourself off to that opportunity. So make sure that your heart is opened when it comes to that, because you could possibly be having some love interest come your way in the month of June, group number 1. Also in the month of June, group number 1, I see that you might be having some money coming in. Now this could be a gift, this could be a stimulus check, this could be an inheritance from maybe someone in your family, but I see affluence coming to you in the month of June, material success and financial security. For some of you, you may be having success in your career in the month of June. So the Sun card for some of you represents that you're going to be having abundance, financially, and then this Ten of Pentacles also predicts that you're going to be having financial abundance. So those two things really go together, doubly letting you know for some of you, you're going to be having some financial abundance during the month of June, group number 1. Also, for some of you in group number 1, maybe you are going to be having someone, an older person, maybe an earth sign, either a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, that older person, a wiser person in your family possibly, that could be helping you out financially or just helping you out with advice. So be on the lookout for someone who's going to be willing to help you out in the month of June for some of you, group number 1. Then moving on, in the month of June, also group number 1, I am seeing that you're going to have some limitless potential. You're going to be very energized by your ideas. We're going back to the Sun card from the beginning, and you had this positivity, this fun, this warmth. I feel like you're going to be really connected with your inner spirit, and you're going to be having like a lot of good ideas, and it might be about job ideas, career ideas. Maybe you're going to be changing jobs, but you're going to be really energized about that. You're going to be really optimistic. You're going to be making some changes for some of you. For other people, this could mean maybe there is a new person coming into your life. A really self-confident and generous person. This person could be a Sagittarius or other fire sign, maybe a Leo or an Aries. Also, for some of you in the month of June, like I was saying, you could be having these just bright ideas. Maybe in the month of June, you might not necessarily be putting it into action yet, but it's going to come into your mind in the month of June. Your potential is going to be limitless during the month of June. So make sure that you're writing these ideas. When you feel these ideas, when you hear these ideas in your mind, and it makes you really excited and energized, and it really just charges you, that is your higher self and your spirit guides letting you know, this is an idea that you need to keep in your head. When it's something that really excites you, that means it's something special. So make sure you keep those ideas written down somewhere and really start thinking about how later on you're going to be putting those into action. You're going to be having some major inspiration, some major discovery, and finding, you're going to be finding growth and discovery in unlikely places. So really keep an eye out for those new ideas. Keep your mind's eye open to spirit and to your higher self, and be listening for those new ideas in the month of June. Also, I see continuing on with these new things that are going to, these new ideas, and maybe this new abundance from work that's going to be coming in for you in the month of June. Also, for some of you, it might mean a possible new love interest. For both of those situations, you have the advantage and you're going to win. Now, it is not saying you're going to win in your finance, you're going to win in your career, you're going to win in love. Now, it's not saying that those things aren't going to be hard to achieve or hard to attain. You are going to have to work hard. In the month of June, you're going to be abundant. You're going to, be finding love. So when you find these things, remember that that didn't just fall in your lap. Those are things that you had to work for, and you have to continue working for those things. If it's a job, you have to continue doing the hard work and make sure you're putting your full effort in. If it's love that you find, make sure, you're treating that person like they say, always keep dating your significant other even after you're not dating anymore, you're together. So always making sure that you're treating that person how you treated them when you first met. So also, for some of you, it might mean in the month of June that you could be having some criticisms coming at you. Maybe these new ideas that you're having, you have some criticisms coming at you. Make sure that you stand up for yourself, and make sure you are standing up for yourself and for your ideas. You're not going to regret your actions. It might seem too aggressive at the time, but you need to make sure that you're standing up for those ideas, because that's what's going to bring you this long-term success. You may have to go into a protection mode, of yourself in the month of June and your ideas, or maybe even for some of you, your relationships if you aren't single. But make sure that you persevere and you defend your territory and you defend your success. Don't be caught unprepared for any kind of battle that might come at you from an outside source when it comes to those things. Be prepared to defend yourself. So again, I do really feel that a lot of you in group number 1, if you are single, you could be having a fire sign coming into your life, a love interest that is a fire sign, possibly Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I think maybe you are a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, sun, moon, or rising. So be watching out for those people coming in. For some of you, I am seeing, again, going back to the idea of career, maybe you're going to be opening your own business. Maybe you're going to be starting your own YouTube channel. Maybe you're going to be starting your own lawn mowing business. Whatever it is that you're going to be doing, this is a good time to do that. You're going to have this ongoing drive to do that, keep moving forward. Maybe, during this quarantine time, a lot of people have discovered that, they don't want to go back to this old way of life that they lived before, and this could possibly be you in the month of June, group number 1. Group number 1, for some of you, I really feel that you are natural born leaders and you have this vision and you have this entrepreneurship inside of you. You should pursue these things in the month of June. You are going to be abundant. They are going to be successful. So really keep moving forward and following that drive and that excitement that you have for whatever this new idea is that's going to come to fruition for you in the month of June. I'm also seeing that maybe for some of you, the month of June may be a really busy time. With the 2 of Pentacles, you may be juggling multiple responsibilities in your life. And I really feel that all of you in group 1, you can handle all of these things that are coming at you in the month of June. You can handle unlimited things. If you manage your time and your energy and your resources correctly, you can literally manage any number of things in your life. So when you get overwhelmed in the month of June, group number 1, just really make sure you are managing your time and you are prioritizing and you are adapting to changes, because I do see some great changes in store for you. And when I say changes, I mean positive changes. You're going to have multiple priorities. Maybe it's going to be a time for you where, when they're saying juggling multiple priorities, maybe you are working a job currently and you are transitioning into another career. If that's the case, maybe you're having to do both of those at the same time until you get the one that you want to ultimately do off the ground. So you might be juggling multiple things like that. Also in the month of June, you're going to be having these great ideas. So be patient and wait for everything to fall into place. And some of you might have a project possibly from the past. Maybe there was something that you already did as kind of a side job. Maybe you were moonlighting as a photographer, or maybe you were reading tarot before, as kind of a side job to make extra income. I feel like some of you are going to take that side job that you were doing before, or maybe it was a hobby, and you're going to turn that into a full-time career. Now, group number 1, we have the 3 of Earth, the Daughter of Air, and the 2 of Air. So with the 3 of Air, this growth card, I feel like for some of you, you have already planted these seeds that are going to come to fruition in the month of June. Creativity, things that are going to bring you financial abundance. This growth card goes along with this 10 of Pentacles. This growth card, there's something that you've already planted that's going to grow into some abundance for you. Also, the Sun card predicted that you're going to be having some abundance in your life. So also, looking at this could also have to do with fertility. growth in the womb. You could be possibly finding out that you are going to be having a baby in the month of June. You could be finding that out. The Daughter of Air and the Two of Air, I think that both of these cards together are reminding you to focus on not only the material world, but also to focus on the spiritual world as well. So this Two of Air and the Daughter of Air, inner peace, and the Daughter of Air, she is all about meditating. She's all about Mother Earth. She's all about connecting with Gaia. And also this Two of Pentacles, you know, is talking about juggling different priorities. And I think that for some of you, it could mean that maybe you're juggling the material world and the spiritual world. That's a reminder that in the month of June, make sure that you're not focusing too much on just the material world or just on the spiritual world, that you have a very good balance of both of those things going on in the month of June, group number one. Then we have growth, elusive priestess, and make a wish. All right, so we got another growth card. So here, if you look, we have this growth card, and I'm going to reference back to this Sun card. So this Sun card could possibly mean fertility, and then you got this growth card, and it actually has a picture of a mother holding her stomach, and she's pregnant. So this could mean growth as far as actually being pregnant and having a baby. This could also mean spiritual growth. So both of these cards say growth. That could be financial growth for some of you, that could be spiritual growth, and that could also mean actual fertility. So some of you might be finding out that you're going to have a baby in the month of June. Elusive priestess. The elusive priestess kind of tells you that there are going to be good things happening for you. You are going to be abundant. You're going to be financially abundant. Whatever dreams that you have are going to be coming to fruition. But the elusive priestess is reminding you that there is more than one path to reach that ultimate goal, that place that you're wanting to be. So don't get set in your head that there's only one way to reach that place. Remember that sometimes Spirit has a different path in mind than you do. So be open to following Spirit's path, but just knowing that ultimately it might not be the exact direction that you thought it was going to go, but ultimately you are going to get to that place of abundance and happiness and joy. Then you have the Make-A-Wish card. The Make-A-Wish card is like a manifestation card, okay? Write down your manifestations. I do this every month. I write down in my manifestation journal all the things that I want to manifest for that month, and I write how grateful I am for these things. So whatever it is that you want to manifest, whatever it is spiritually, if it is a baby, you know, that you want to, you know, have a baby, if it is financial abundance, if it is starting a new business, if it is a new love for some of you, whatever that is, this is a collective reading, so it might be different for some of you in group number one. But write those manifestations down for the month of June. Write them down, you know, as frequently as possible during the month of June, and thank the universe for those things as if you have already received them. Then you have Lady Venus, Gaia, Earth Connection, Lady Nada. Okay, Lady Venus, downloads and understandings. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So in the month of June, you're going to be getting some downloads from possibly your spirit guides or your higher self. When you hear ringing in your ears, when you feel like, you know, you've possibly, you know, been visited in your sleep by your spirit guides in a dream, those are all signs that you are being given downloads and understanding from your spirit guides and from higher self. So really make sure, if you feel like that's happening in the month of June, that could be happening for you. Make sure that you're really paying attention and trying to decipher what it is that your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you in the month of June. Then you also have Gaia, Earth Connection. Be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, and stay grounded. I think that This card could have a lot to do with what we said already before, this inner peace, this daughter of air, okay, and this growth here and this growth here. You have a lot of things in the month of June that are referencing back for you to really stay grounded, stay connected with your spirituality, and really have an earth connection. Maybe in the month of June, for some of you, you need to get outside, you need to do some earthing, put your feet in the ground, really connect with Mother Earth in the month of June. Then we have Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. All right, so earlier, yes, we had this balance card as well. So maybe for some of you, that balance card could be referring to, giving and receiving. Make sure that you are charitable. Make sure that you're giving to others. Make sure that you're open to receiving from others too. That could be talking about materialistically. That could also be talking about spiritually for some of you. Then for group number 1, Beaver Spirit, Whale Spirit, and White Raven Spirit. Okay, so Beaver Spirit, laying a solid foundation. So if you think about beavers, they build dams and they are constantly working because the water is constantly flowing down a river and could possibly be moving or deconstructing what they have already constructed. The river is ever changing. That is the same thing if we look back to this card, the 7 of Wands, constantly working, constantly keeping on building on what you have already built, defending what you've built, upkeep on what you have already done. So make sure that you are laying that solid foundation, but that you are also continuing to work. And just because you built something, you can't just leave it and then it's done. You have to continue to work, continue to build, to keep what you've worked on so hard in a good state. Then you have the Well Spirit, trust the mystery. And I think this is going back and confirming earlier this elusive priestess card, these two together, okay? Trust the mystery, this Well Spirit. Good things are going to be happening to you. It's not always going to happen the way that you think it's going to happen. So trust the mystery, trust spirit, trust the universe. Good things are going to happen for you in the month of June, group number 1, but you really have to trust that it's going to come in a way that you least expect it. But trust spirit that it is going to come. Let go. Don't focus on how it's going to get there or when it's going to get there. Just let go and trust spirit. And then your last animal spirit card is the White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. So this goes along with these other 2 cards. Trust the magic, trust spirit, trust universe, that things are going to happen. It might not always happen exactly how you think it's going to happen. Sometimes our logical mind does not understand, what the universe and what spirit has in store for us. So really just trust the magic and trust the mystery, okay? Then these last 2 cards are just some fun cards that I like. This is from a music oracle deck. The first card that you got for group number 1 is John Lennon. Not everything you see is a mirage. Not everything you hear is a lie. If you enjoy wasting time, then it isn't wasted. Peace is the only thing worth hoping for. Okay, so that's some good spirit message from John Lennon. And then the last card for group number 1 is Patti Smith. Jesus died for someone's sins, but not yours. Learn to make peace with eternal dissatisfaction. The most powerful form of rebellion is the spirit. Okay, this card I really feel like is talking about going back to always being in a state of dissatisfaction. And what I mean by that is not being unhappy or not being dissatisfied, but like in your work or in your love life or in a career, never be happy with the way things are. Always be searching for better, always be looking for better, no matter, even if you do feel like you've come to the ultimate, there's always room for improvement, and there's always room to get better materially and especially spiritually. Okay, so thank you, group number 1. I hope that that resonated. If it did, please comment down below. If you liked this video, please hit that post bell notification down below, like and subscribe. Thank you. Love and light, and happy soul searching. All right, let's go ahead and get started with group number 2 with the malachite crystal. All right, so first you have the 5 of Pentacles, Justice, the 3 of Hearts, the 9 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. All right, so we start group number 2 with the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is not necessarily always a negative card. I think that this could represent maybe a sense of worry. I think that maybe in your mind, group number 2, you could be worrying about a lot of things. Your worry could be about financial struggles. Your worry could be emotional. You could be possibly feeling just a lot of stress and a lot of insecurity right now. Maybe during this period of time that we've been going through, maybe you've had a loss of employment, maybe you've had to move homes. And I think that this card really encourages you when you are going through these times, whether it be actual material loss, or if it's a spiritual loss, or maybe you're feeling loss emotionally, maybe loss of a relationship, that you should look up and, you know, really seek out support and help from people and from spirit and from the universe, because although we do have storms in life, those don't last forever. And I feel like maybe with this 5 of Pentacles, you know, you are going through this, maybe you're trying to weather this alone. Maybe you are going through this worryful, stressful time, and you really need to remember that you do not have to weather these things alone. Look up. There is a light there. There is someone there to help you, or something there to guide you. So really make sure that when you're going through these times of worry and through stress, you know, it could really be as simple as looking for guidance and looking for help. Maybe you feel like you need to do this on your own, but remember that you never have to suffer anything by yourself, okay? Then you have the Justice card, and with the Justice card, I can see that you are a very fair person. You have a lot of personal integrity. You are honest and truthful. And so you could possibly be, I feel like maybe you are an earth sign. Maybe you are a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. You could also be a Libra, possibly. You're a very fair person. You take responsibility for your actions. During this time in the month of June, group number 2, just really make sure that you're being decisive, and when you are making decisions about things, you are using integrity and you are being fair. During the month of June, for some of you, I see that maybe, you know, you could possibly be going to court, and I think that whatever it is that you are going to court for, that it could be ruled in your favor. It will be ruled in your favor. So you are on the right side, and justice is going to be served for you in the month of June. For some of you, this could also mean that, you know, a Libra could be coming into your life during the month of June. This could be someone that also holds those qualities, a very fair person with a lot of integrity. I can see that maybe a very compassionate person that is very intuitive and logical, and really has a lot of balance in their material world and spiritual world, could be coming into your life in the month of June for some of you. Then you have the 3 of Swords. This could possibly mean in the month of June, group number 2, that there could be some heartbreak or sorrow or grief. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to happen to you. It could be for you. It could be that you are inflicting that on someone, okay? Make sure in the month of June that if, you go through this sorrow or loss, that once again, back up from this 5 of Pentacles, you're looking up and you're seeking out that guidance and help from a person in your life, maybe this Libra of justice in your life, or maybe the universe or spirit. Watch out for people in the month of June that could possibly betray you. Be on your toes for things like that. Watch out for maybe an incompatible lover. Maybe there's somebody that you are in a relationship with now that is not necessarily going so well in the month of June. So really watch out for that. Make sure that you are keeping an eye out for those people, maybe going behind your back or doing something that isn't really just to you. Also, that might be you doing that to someone else. Maybe you're going to be causing that heartbreak, and just make sure that you're not on the other end of that heartbreak when it comes to a situation like that. You don't want to cause heartbreak or sorrow or grief for someone else. The 3 of Hearts for some of you, also represents that storms may come, but they also disappear really soon. If you think about a rainstorm, it comes really quickly and then it leaves really quickly. So even though, you may be having some kind of storms for yourself in the month of June, just remember that those disappear really quickly. And looking on into your other cards, I see that that's really going to improve for group number 2 in the month of June. Later on in the month of June, I see that you are going to be, with the 9 of Pentacles, you're going to be running into some abundance. You're going to be running into some money. You're going to be running into some abundance in the month of June. You're going to, in mid-June, I feel like you're going to be really becoming self-sufficient. Maybe the beginning of June was a little bit of a rough start, but I think that moving forward into the month of June, that you're going to be having some better luck. Things are going to be looking up. For some of you, I feel like you might be having a earth sign that could be coming into your life. Maybe after this heartbreak, you have an earth sign that's going to be coming into your life. Maybe a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus coming into your life. This could be someone that's really wealthy, intellectual and spiritual with a lot of self-control. This could mean for some of you that you could be getting some kind of inheritance, or possibly a stimulus check coming to you, and that is going to be good for you in the month of June moving forward. I also see for group number 2, moving into the month of June, you are going to have some personal growth. Really look into the future in the month of June and start planning and thinking about how you're going to progress into the month of June and after June. The month of June is going to be a time where you're going to be able to make those plans to really set your financial and emotional and spiritual things into place, the material world and the spiritual world. This is going to be a time where you're going to be having to make some decisions. You're going to be discovering things about yourself. You're going to have a good chance for success. You're going to have a good chance for success in the month of June. If you overcome these challenges that happened at the beginning of June, I feel like you're going to really have a successful end of June in 2020, group number 2. I think that the month of June for some of you is going to be like a planning phase. You have the world in your hands with this 2 of Wands, and you are contemplating, how you're going to move forward. You haven't left your comfort to pursue this yet, but you have it here and you're ready to do it. So in the month of June, I really think you need to be planning how you're going to pursue that, how you're going to be successful. This is going to be, like I said, like a planning phase. You're not quite ready to venture out, but you are ready to have that progress. You're ready to make that plan. You're ready to start planning for the future. And so in the month of June, any ideas that you get, you're going to be getting these new creative ideas for success. Maybe you're going to be starting your own business. Commit all of your energy to these new projects, because that is what's going to bring you success in the future. Really research all of these ideas that you're having, these new creative ideas. Maybe you are going to be starting your own business, or maybe you're going to be doing something like career path-wise. Maybe you have a new idea for your job that you're going to be taking to one of your superiors. Whatever it is, You're going to have some really great ideas, act decisively, and really research these ideas. And you're going to have lots of success with those ideas in the future, group number 2. Then you have the 9 of Swords, and I can see also with the 9 of Swords, I'm still seeing this anxiety, this worry, this fear. Maybe you have caused some kind of heartbreak, and this is keeping you up at night in the month of June. Whatever it is that's keeping you up at night, you really need to take the time to heal, okay? You know, you are having this anxiety and this fear and this worry over something that's happened in the past for some of you, okay? Don't let that overcloud the positive things. The only how you can get through those kind of sleepless nights and anxiety and fear is by doing the forgiveness of yourself, okay? Forgive yourself. Really do some spiritual work, do some internal work, possibly do some shadow work, you know, and accept those parts of yourself. You are going to be having some abundance in the month of June, group number 2. You're going to be having some good things happen, but you have got to make sure that you are not causing pain to other people, and you're not letting this anxiety or worry or fear take over in the month of June. You really have to focus on the prize and pay attention to what's coming in the future and stay grounded, look for guidance, listen for advice, and really focus on the positives to come. We then have spirit guides. That goes along with listening. 8 of Earth, inner order, and 2 of Earth, change. Okay, so like I was talking about before, I was talking about really listening to this guidance, you know. In the 5 of Pentacles, you have these 2 gentlemen, and they're really suffering, and they're walking by, and here's this nice warm church, and they're just walking right by it, and they're not going in to see if they can get some help, okay? Listen to your spirit guides. This card is reminding you to listen to your spirit guides when you're going through any kind of fear or anxiety or worry or pain. Maybe you've caused it for someone else, maybe they've caused it for you. Whatever it is, you really need to rely on your spirit guides for guidance and for your next move. Okay, then you have the 8 of Earth, inner order. This really goes along with the 2 of Wands. You know, the 2 of Wands, we had this planning phase, okay? The month of June is really going to be a planning phase for you. You're going to be contemplating these opportunities that you have coming up. You're going to be not quite ready to venture out, but you're going to really be thinking about how you are going to go about these new ideas and creative plans that you have, okay? And so this inner order goes along with that. You really need to get your thoughts in order. You really need to get your ideas in order. You need to get yourself in order materialistically and spiritually, so that when you move forward, things will go well and you'll be successful. Then you also have the 2 of Earth, which indicates change. I think that this card really also goes along with the 2 of Wands, because I think that you're going to have some huge changes that happen in the month of June. Just with this card spread right here, you know, we see this 5 of Pentacles. We see this 5 of Pentacles, okay? Maybe we are having some, you know, worry, or having some anxiety and fear, okay? This is going to be a month of change for you. You're going to change that around. Maybe you've been dealing with that for a while, possibly, you know, in the past. Is that something that you struggle with? All right. Possibly for some of you it is. You're going to, we have the, you know, the night and the day here, and I think that we're going to be turning things around completely. You're going to be coming from this planning phase. You're going to be moving into this, putting it into action in the month, you know, in the months ahead. So you're going to be having a lot of change coming forward, materialistically, I feel, and spiritually. Then you have patience, self-care, and dreams. Okay? Patience. Patience for group number 2. Once again, you're going to be having a lot of things changing possibly in the month of June. And you might feel like, you know, maybe this is happening slow. Maybe this isn't happening as quickly as you would like it to. But really trust spirit and really be patient and know that it is happening exactly how it's supposed to be happening. And when you are struggling with being patient, with getting over these things that have happened, self-care. This is the number one thing that's going to get you through any difficult times, is really taking care of yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Do your meditation, do your grounding, take a hot Epsom salt bath, drink your hot tea, go work out, go take a walk outside, put your toes in the ground, really take care of yourself, align your chakras, and do all those things that are good for yourself so that you are going to be ready for these big changes that are coming forward. All right, then you have the dreams card, and I feel like this is telling you, for some of you, you're going to be having some really important dreams. You're going to be possibly getting some messages in your dreams, okay? Spirit guide is going to be giving you messages in your dreams during the month of June. Get out a dream journal, write these dreams down, really focus on what they mean and try to interpret what your spirit guides are trying to tell you, okay? And also, I see this card, this reminds me of this card too. You're going to be having this fear or worry or anxiety. Maybe you're going to wake up in the middle of the night after having some dreams. Write those dreams down so that you can figure out what it is that your spirit guides are trying to guide you to. What direction are your spirit guides trying to guide you? What should be your next move? Really focus on your dreams in the month of June. Then you have the Holy Spirit, the Divine Director, and Green Tara. Okay? The Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So miracles are going to be happening for you in the month of June. Remember, maybe it started out rough, but you're going to be having some great things happen to you. You're going to be having some money coming in. You're going to be having some money coming in. You're going to be blessed. You're going to be abundant towards the end of June. So remember, just be patient, waiting for those miracles and that abundance that's going to be coming to you in the month of June. Spirit has your back. Spirit is looking out for you. Trust and remember that even though it's not happening the way that you think it should be happening, it's not always the exact process that you think it should follow in your head, but Divine has a plan. And be patient and expect miracles from what Spirit has in store for you for the month of June. Then you have the Divine Director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So once again, the Divine Director, that's Spirit. That's your spirit guides, guys. That is the Divine Director. So once again, you're going to be having miracles happening in the month of June. Spirit, the Divine Director, is going to be intervening, all right? Make sure that you're open. Make sure that you're listening. Make sure you're writing down those dreams and listening for that intervention. Green Tara, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. So Green Tara is saying that cords are being cut, all right? So that goes back to this heartbreak card, okay? This 3 of Hearts. Maybe you're going to be ending a relationship in the month of June that no longer serves you, okay? Be okay with that. Once again, the rainstorm comes, the rainstorm goes, it goes quickly. So really trust, that you are going to be, really trust that you are protected and that people in your life that no longer serve you, those cords are going to be cut in the month of June. And just really move beyond those limitations that you have set for yourself and trust, that your spirit guides have something great in store for you for the month of June, and be patient, right? Then you have Snake Spirit, time to heal. Then you have Dove Spirit, be peace. Then you have Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit. Then you have Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. Okay, so all of that really goes along with everything we've talked about already. Okay, so first you have the Snake Spirit, time to heal. This speaks to everything that, I've already been talking about. Heartbreak, Maybe you've had some kind of loss, some kind of financial loss. Maybe you've lost your home. Maybe you've lost, a relationship. Maybe there was a breakup, okay? This is time to heal, okay? Really take this time in the month of June to heal and to be at peace, okay? Listen to your spirit guides, listen to your dreams, be at peace, trust the divine, trust your spirit guides in the month of June. Really listen to your dreams, really make sure that you're taking care of yourself and heal yourself, okay? The only thing that is going to get you past this worry, this fear, this anxiety, whatever it is that has been lost, the only how that you're going to recover is if you take the time to heal, okay? And the dove, be at peace. Lion spirit, be generous of spirit. Okay, now you have lion spirit, be generous of spirit. I feel like this lion spirit card is telling you that even though you might have some hardships going on, even though some things might have happened, you are still able of helping. You might be thinking, how can I help? What do I have to offer? Make sure that you're still being generous of spirit. Make sure you're still being kind. Make sure you're still being loving during all this time. Be at peace, okay? Now, a time for a deep dive. This goes along with time to heal and being at peace and self-care. This is your time to meditate. This is your time to do shadow work and really dive deep into your spirit self and eliminate all of those things that do not serve your highest good any longer. Okay, take a deep dive and look inward during the month of June. And then last, we have some fun little music oracle cards. You got James Brown, knock 'em dead then leave. Don't quit moving until it's payback time. When you're ready to get on up, it's time to get down. Okay? I think this is also just an encouragement card. Like, don't give up, keep going, good things are coming, keep working towards your goals. Don't quit moving until it's payback time. Keep working for that goal that you have. All right, now group 2 for your last card, you have John Coltrane. Take your solo, but give others their moment too. If you follow your own truth, there are no false notes. Find beauty in the unexpected. All right, group 2, so that is your June 2020 prediction. If you liked this video, if it resonated with you, please comment down below. If you would like to see more like it, please hit that post bell notification down below, like, and subscribe. Love and light, and happy soul searching. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get started with group number 3 with the Peacock Copper. And for group number 3, we have the 5 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so starting out for group number 3, we have the 5 of Wands. So possibly in the month of June, group number 3, you may be having some kind of conflict or tension. It's not going to be over something major. It's going to be over everyday things. You're going to have some kind of disagreement. Maybe some of you are going to have some competition. Maybe at your work, something that you do every day. You're not going to be able to find harmony or a common ground with someone in the month of June. And honestly, for some of you, the reason you're fighting, there's not really a reason. It's just because of, you're different from each other. And so the purpose of fighting is kind of petty. So just really in the month of June, watch out for that kind of fighting. Make sure that you try to avoid any kind of conflict like that. If it's not really about something, don't pursue that kind of conflict. Watch out for people that might have some kind of secret opposition towards you or towards your plans. That could be at work, that could be at home as well. For some of you, make sure that you aren't, as a person, you aren't being excuse me, make sure you as a person that you're not being greedy and you're not being underhanded, and watch out for your own back as well in that kind of situation. And this tension and this arguing, it's going to be really more of a nuisance. It's not going to be anything serious. So just make sure that, if it's either, it could be coworkers, it could be, maybe it could even be familial, like with brothers or sisters. So just make sure in that petty fighting, if it seems like there's not really a reason to have those differences, that you try to stay out of it and not be a part of those conflicts. Next, you have the Four of Swords. And this says, that you're going to have a personal battle that's going to end. So this could be referring to your Five of Wands, okay? Maybe this battle is going to end. You're going to have a truce. You're going to have a break in the fighting, okay? The anxiety and the stress that this kind of little conflict was causing you, okay? Make sure you're going to see an end in this stress and anxiety that this conflict before was causing you in the month of June. Also, you're going to be moving forward, and you're going to have one focus in life. You're going to be able to find the rest and the relaxation. You're going to be able to find peace and let your guard down in the month of June. Okay, so where it might start out where you have some kind of conflicts or tensions, it's going to quickly resolve into a period of rest and relaxation. Okay, you're going to be able to have that recuperation time. You're going to want to find time to be alone with your thoughts and really mentally prepare yourself for what's coming up next in the month of June. Then you have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is saying, you're going to possibly, for some of you, be having some sort of change, some sort of transition. That could be a change in your career. That could be, for some of you, I'm seeing that could be a change in where you live. Maybe you're going to be moving. Maybe you're going to be moving to a new location, or maybe just to a new home. For some of you, you're going to be leaving behind something that didn't serve you anymore. And you're going to be leaving it for something that's going to be better for you, something that's going to be a more peaceful environment for you, something that's going to serve your higher self. In the month of June, for group number 3, the future is going to be better than the past, okay? So really remember that whatever the conflict and the tension was about, that it's eventually going to work itself out, okay? For some of you, this could also mean that you're going to be traveling or taking some kind of journey, possibly over water, possibly in a boat, okay? Then you have the Page of Pentacles. This could signify that someone is going to be coming into your life that is really high-spirited, youthful, and engaging and optimistic. This person could possibly be a Capricorn or another earth sign, maybe a Virgo or a Taurus. This person is going to come into your life. You're really going to be able to trust this person. This person is going to look out for your best interest, and he or she is going to have a very positive change or effect on your life. For some of you, this could be manifesting abundance, okay? You have been doing the hard work. You're going to be discovering how to manifest more abundance, okay? You're going to have financial opportunities. You're going to have maybe for some of you, it's like some kind of skill that you're going to be developing, okay? So it's going to be like a harvest time for some of you in group number 3 in June of 2020. Next in June of 2020 for group number 3, you have the Eight of Swords. And this signifies to me that you're going to be a victim of your own negative thoughts, okay? So you really need to focus on not imprisoning yourself by these self-imposed restrictions in your own mind, okay? You need a new empowering mindset, and you really need to trust your intuition for what you can't see, what's in the future, okay? You feel like you are forced into living by other people's rules for some of you. You might be overwhelmed by these feelings of being forced into living by other people's rules or restrictions. You might feel trapped, like there's no way out for some of you. But for a lot of you, it's your own fear and it's your own indecision that might be causing this. It's just in your own mind. It's not really physical, it's just mental. So make sure that you are not making yourself a prisoner of your own thoughts and your own mind. The answers and the outcomes are going to require clear thinking on your part. So do not let yourself be bound by your own negative thinking and having a victim mentality. Next, we have the Knight of Pentacles, okay? This could possibly signify a male, a hardworking male, that could also be an earth sign, a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. This man or male energy, it could also be a female with male energy, could be coming into your life for some of you. His job is really the center of his life. He's super financially successful, patient, extremely focused. This person has very traditional values and they're very hardworking. This person really follows through and keeps their word. And this could mean also that this could be you. You know, you could be having a change towards the end of June 2020 where you were really focused on productivity and hard work. You're getting into routines. You're going to start planning the path before you and really start taking action. The month of June, for some of you, you might really start be willing to work towards your dreams, even if the things that you have to do to make your dreams happen are super repetitive. You're going to be willing to put in that repetitive work. Sometimes it might get dull, but you need to make sure that you're putting in that work to make your dreams come true in the month of June 2020. Then we have the Seven of Water, Excess, the Grandmother card, and the Nine of Air, Hurt. So with the Seven of Water in excess, this has a lot to do with, you know, with being in denial or not telling yourself the truth. And I think this might involve this being in bondage of your own thoughts, okay? This victim mentality. So you're really going to have to, in the month of June, start changing the way that you're thinking, okay? Don't let yourself be in bondage to negative thoughts or be thinking that you're not good enough, all right? Don't waste what you actually do have. Maybe you have what you need to succeed. Maybe for some of you, you know, you have plenty to succeed and you're just letting that kind of waste away and not using it to its full potential. So really make sure in the month of June that you're using all your resources, that you are not taking advantage of any of the resources that you have at your hands, and that you're using those to reach your goals and to have a successful June 2020. Then we have the Grandmother, and the Grandmother looks very similar to Mother Earth. You see her here, you know, and she has this turtle behind her and she's embracing this child, and you see all the nice grass around her. So, you know, I think Mother Earth is again saying, you know, use the gifts that you have. Don't think that you are unable to contribute or that you're unable to help. You are still able to help other people around you. You know, even though, you know, you might be thinking in your head, you know, I'm not able to help these people because, you know, woe is me. I'm in this situation, but you should always be willing to, you know, be charitable and help those people, whether it be just talking to them or, you know, providing other people with some kind of support. You can always still do that. And when you do that, you're really going to feel the ultimate reward, and that's going to be the best thing for you. That's really going to help you along any healing path that you have to go on. Helping other people is going to help you heal as well. All right. Then we have the Nine of Air, Hurt. Now I really feel like this is not referring to new hurt. This is referring to past hurt, okay? You may have some major healing to do from maybe your childhood or from your past for some of you. I think that this might be part of the negative thoughts that you might be having about, you know, not being good enough, about anything that's holding you back mentally. So you really need to make sure that you are healing, you know, and like I was saying before, a good way to heal is to be charitable to others. That's always going to help you heal yourself. As you heal other people, you also heal inside as well. And then you have End of Cycle, Speak Your Truth, and Power. End of Cycle, that is from my New Orleans deck, that's the Hurricane Katrina card. And so basically that's saying, like, you know, maybe something came along, maybe you've had some troubles, maybe, you know, things have been completely wiped out. June 2020 is going to be the month for you to start over and to rebuild, okay? You're gonna have some major changes. We're gonna get rid of these thoughts that are holding you back, okay? We're going to get rid of this, you know, hurt that might be holding you back, all right? All that is going to be cleared out and be totally cleansed, and you're going to start over, okay? Then you have speak your truth. This could mean that you're going to be opening up and being honest, maybe with yourself. For some of you, it could be opening up with family members. Maybe there's things that you need to open up and tell your family that you've been wanting to tell them for a long time. For others of you, speaking your truth, this might be referring to you opening up and helping others and really clearing out these blockages for yourself by helping others, okay? So really, in the month of June, don't hold back and speak your truth and speak from your heart. Open up your throat chakra and speak from your throat chakra so that you can heal yourself. That's also going to be very healing for you in the month of June. The scarab beetle, magic works through you, okay? So you need to remember that, once again, all of these experiences that you've had in life are really going to help you, okay? It's going to help you with your creativity. Maybe something that you have gone through is going to help you in something that you're going to be doing in the future. So remember that everything that happens for a reason, and it's going to help you become who you are. It's a lesson learned, just like the nothing is wasted vulture card. Just like the nothing is wasted vulture card. You know, you are, magic works through you, and that includes all of your experiences that you've gone through. And then for group number 3, your last 2 cards, these are my music oracle. You got Freddie Mercury, my favorite. A dramatic life is better than being dramatic about life. Extravagance is the wicked stepmother of invention. There's nothing more precious than frivolity. Okay? And then your last card is Kurt Cobain. We're all in this mess together, so we may as well make some noise. Don't become your own tribute band, and you can't buy Teen Spirit. Okay? So that is all for group number 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please comment down below. If you like this video and you would like to see more like it, please hit that post bell notification, like, and subscribe. Love and light, and happy soul searching. All right, let's go ahead and get started with group number 4 with the Tiger's Eye crystal. All right, so for group number 4, we have, the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, Judgment, the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and the Tower. Okay. All right, so group number 4, with the Ace of Wands in June of 2020. This would be, looks like June 2020 for some of you is going to be a really good time to begin a new project. Okay, you're going to be getting some really good inspiration and growth, new opportunities and potential. I feel like for some of you, Spirit is really going to be working with you on coming up with these creative new ideas and giving you new opportunities to be able to show these ideas to people who need to see them. Maybe someone in your career that you're going to be presenting to, okay? If you are doing something like that in your career, you know, obviously challenges will arise, but they are going to be able to be taken down with minimal effort from you in this particular pursuit. You may be a fire sign. You may be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Anything is possible in the month of June for this group number 4. You're going to be having a lot of high energy. You're going to be having really Your personal power and your intellect is really going to be at a high point, okay? So you're going to want to tap into your creativity, because any kind of creativity that you're getting right now is coming directly from Spirit in the month of June 2020. So really listen and really tap into those ideas that you're having, because that's going to lead to your success. For some of you, this Ace of Wands may indicate that June 2020 might be a good month for you to start a family, okay? Male or female, we're going to have some good fertility in the month of June. This is going to be a good time to start a family for some of you, okay? For some of you, this just might mean that you're going to be having a really good home life right now. Your family life is going to be really wonderful at this time in the month of June. So you're going to be wanting to spend some time with your family and really look inward to make plans to spend time with your family in the month of June. Then we have the Lovers card. This could mean several things. For some of you, this might mean that you're going to be feeling beautiful in the month of June. You're really going to be feeling yourself in the month of June. You're going to be just feeling like beautiful outside physical beauty and beautiful inside. You're going to be feeling like you have a beautiful soul, okay? Some of you, it might be the beginning of a romance. You might meet a lover in the month of June. You might start a new relationship in the month of June for some of you. For some of you, it may mean that you might have this temptation coming in. Maybe if you're in a relationship already, you might have this temptation, this attraction, to this person that has a lot of sexuality. You might lust after this person. You might think you're in love with this person. For some of you, this might mean you're going to be getting into a relationship, or maybe you're already in a relationship and you live with your parents right now and you're going to be moving out. Maybe you might be moving out on your own so that you have more freedom to be able to have this relationship with this person that you are in love with. You could also be, for some of you, it's just going to be a period of good times. You're going to have lots of close friends and lots of adventures during the month of June, okay? You're going to have really good relationships. This could just represent for some of you, sensual pleasure in the month of June. This could also mean for some of you in group number 4, a union with the divine. Maybe this relationship that you're going to be building is actually going to be with the divine, with Spirit. So the month of June might be really fruitful with your spiritual work in the month of June. Some of you might be falling in love with a Gemini, okay? So watch out, some of you, for those Geminis in the month of June 2020. For some of you, this might mean in the month of June, you're going to have some kind of like legal issues or like a contract or something that you were involved in the past is going to be resolved in your favor in the month of June. For others, you might be looking for someone. Maybe you've had, an issue in the past and you're with someone and you're going to be seeking reconciliation or forgiveness in the month of June. Maybe you yourself are going to be forgiving people who have hurt you so that you can move on with your life in the month of June. Some of you might be finding a new career. This card really signifies for some of you a huge turnaround. Maybe you have been going through a low period and this is going to be, that new leaf that you're going to be turning over. It's going to be a rebirth for you. If you're possibly going to be starting a new career, it's going to be something that's your inner calling, okay? You're going to find your real life's purpose in the month of June for some of you. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, okay? The Six of Pentacles is really, I'm feeling that your financial situation is going to be very abundant. It's going to be really easy for you to pay your bills and do everything that you need to do. You're going to have success in business, and if you are somebody who sells something, okay, your sales are going to be really high, all right? If you have your own business, your business is going to be really successful. If you work for someone else, you're going to have a lot of personal power at work. Okay, people are really going to start taking notice of you and respecting you at your workplace for some of you. So with that financial abundance in the month of June, we have the Six of Pentacles has, this gentleman, and he is giving and receiving. So it's just really a balance that can change at any time. So this card is really saying, you know, when you're having good financial times and things are abundant for you, really be generous, okay? Really be giving. Be generous to other people, because there are times in life where, you know, you might have needed that generosity. There might be times in the future where you need that generosity. So when you're able to give that generosity to other people, make sure that you are giving charitably, okay? Make sure that in the month of June, you are really sharing that wealth and you are being generous with other people. Then we have the Eight of Wands. For some of you, you might be at a crossroad in your life in the month of June. Okay, you're going to want to really take action and move quickly so that you don't miss out on those opportunities. You're going to want to plan really carefully, but don't let that slow you down. Don't let the careful planning slow you down. Be on your toes. You're going to be at a crossroads. You need to make the best decision possible, all right? For some of you, this is a good time to really sit down and clarify your goals with yourself, you know, and make sure that you are giving yourself the opportunity to meet those goals. For some of you, situations may be coming to a resolution, okay? This card really represents movement and action, fast-paced change, okay, and alignment. For some of you, you might be traveling somewhere, you know, in an airplane, air travel. And for others of you in Group 4, really be on the lookout for important news or information in the month of June. Then last, we have the Tower card. And the Tower card is not always necessarily a negative card. It could just mean that, you know, it's sudden change, okay? It could also mean chaos, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? It could be just the upheaval, you know, or the awakening. Maybe we're talking about spiritually, your ambitions or your goals. You could be going through, you know, an upheaval of just some like long-held beliefs or ideas that you've had for a long time. You know, you could just be challenging those things. You could be having some new revelations. You could be going through the awakening process. Maybe it's the beginning for you of the awakening process. This could also signify, you know, natural disasters in the month of June. You know, there are a lot of things going on in the world right now. So this could be talking about, you know, different things that are going on in the world right now in the month of June. But ultimately, you're going to realize that these changes are for the best, and you're going to have a surge, you know, you're going to have like a breakthrough. And even in times where you know, you might feel like it's a disaster, or, you know, it's just chaotic, or it's just sudden change, or everything that you thought was true, you know, you starting to question it all, you're going to find that even in those times, there's always divine intervention, okay? So be ready for some of you in the month of June to have a really huge spiritual awakening. Then we have Mother of Earth. Six of Air is clarity. And Son of Water. Okay? You have the Mother of Earth card. And so I think for some of you in the month of June, you know, it's going to be a good idea for you to get back into Mother Nature. Go outside, put your feet on the ground, and really spend some time out in Mother Nature. I think that is going to really help with any kind of troubles. You know, the spiritual awakening that we're talking about here, that's really going to be a large part of that. And then the Six of Air, also clarity. That's going to go along with your spiritual awakening, okay? You need to really listen to your spirit guides, focus and meditate on, you know, what it is that the spiritual awakening has in store for you, and make sure that you're listening to your spirit guides. Then you have the Son of Water. And the Son of Water, I feel like it's really representing, you know, you have a lot of gifts. You have a lot of spiritual gifts. Maybe you're really attractive, you know, physically. And you can use the gifts that you have for good, or, you know, or for not so good. So this reminds you that you have these really powerful gifts, and you need to use them, you know, to help others and for the better of others. Then we have Gratitude, step back, and music healing. Then you have the gratitude card, and the gratitude card depicts a second line in New Orleans, and so they are celebrating life. Okay, when someone passes away, they do a second line and they celebrate life. So this is basically telling you that you have a lot to be grateful for. Okay, you should be grateful for the little things in life. Always have gratitude, and always remember there's always something for you to be grateful for. And then step back. Okay, this really goes along, you know, with the Tower card talking about you possibly, some of you having a spiritual awakening or a revelation in the month of June. Also, this clarity in this Mother Earth. Okay, you really need to step back and get back into Mother Earth and really use this time to grow spiritually. Okay, and then you have music healing. So if you pull this card, I really feel like it's just telling you to enjoy yourself. Okay, have gratitude. Maybe if you are a musician, play some music. Maybe go listen to some live music somewhere. Maybe dance to some music. Just really tune in to some kind of good music. Maybe you need to listen to some, you know, particular frequencies, maybe some healing frequencies, or something that's going to, you know, help you heal and let go in the month of June. Just spend some time with music, and music is really a good healing tool. Then you have Diana, focused intention, Hilarion, divine healing, and Freya, phases and cycles. So Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high and expect the best possible outcome. So, you know, here we were talking about earlier with you having in the month of June, you know, possibly some new projects, or maybe, you know, new opportunities, new creativity. This is going to reinforce that idea of focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights really high. What are your goals? You know, when you are having these new projects that you're starting, what are your goals? Set them really high and expect the best possible outcome. Okay, Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Okay, so retreat, step back. Okay, so I'm really feeling that in the month of June, group number 4, you need to spend some time in nature. You need to retreat. You need to step back. You need to have some musical healing. Okay, all of these things are going to be good for you in the month of June. That is just letting you know that when you do those things, you know, the divine is going to be there, you know, to heal you. When you put your feet on Mother Earth, you are getting those healing powers from Mother Earth. And then also here it says your light can support others. All right, and we talked about this with the 6 of Pentacles, being charitable and helping others. Maybe that charitable action that you take isn't necessarily financial. Okay, maybe it's something else that you're doing to help support someone with your inner light. Okay, maybe you're helping them in their awakening process. Maybe you're helping them to heal or recharge in the month of June. Okay, and then we have Freya, phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So we had with the Tower card, you know, it says there might be some sudden changes, some upheavals. You know, it might just be talking about an upheaval of like some beliefs or ideas. It might also be talking about actual physical material things, but with every ending, you know, there's a beginning. With every beginning, there's an ending. So any illusions will be revealed and released in the month of June. And then your spirit animal cards. You have the Wombat Spirit, be at home. You have the Bee Spirit, sweet results await. You have the Otter Spirit, you are never alone. And you have the Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Okay, so the Wombat Spirit is just telling you to spend some time at home. Okay, you need to be spending some time with your family. I know that when we were talking about earlier with the Lovers card, you know, it might not necessarily be talking about romantic love. It could be talking about spending time with your family, spending time at home, having good times, and close friendships, maybe close family relationships, okay? And then you have the Bee spirit, sweet results await. And I think that, you know, we were talking about earlier that even though, you know, there might be sudden changes, that there's always going to be, you know, a beginning to an ending, okay? So the sweet results await. Otter spirit, you are never alone. You are always going, you know, you have Mother Earth. You always have your spirit guides. You always have, you know, the divine and spirit. So you are never alone. And then Canary spirit, sing your own song. So this really goes along with that musical healing card. Maybe you're a singer, okay? Maybe you're a violinist or a musician of some sort. So, you know, music is really going to be a key part of your healing in the month of 2020, group number 4. And then your last 2 cards, you have our music oracle, Bjork, devour life whole, organize an orgy with the sky and the sea. Optimism is energy, Bjork. Okay. And then your last card, group number 4, is the Prince card. And do what you damn well like, but always do it to the utmost. Never lose touch with your colorful side, and your dream home lies outside of time. Okay, so those are some inspirational cards to close up group number 4. If this resonated with you and you enjoyed it, please comment down below. If you liked this video and you would like to see more like it, please hit that post bell notification, like, and subscribe. Love and light, and happy soul searching.